Welcome everybody to All the Beyond the Barricade. We are live. It is 7:58, and I'm sorry, I'm choking over here. We got a couple of minutes before 9 o'clock starts. 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, 8 o'clock. But we just had a great podcast before, and I'm going to announce tomorrow's guest at 8 o'clock. It was supposed to be one, but it's actually going to be two guests, and we didn't really announce it until we got confirmation today. We're going to have Remarkable Wrestling's very own Gabriel Sky, who's the current champion, and Kano Capuchia. They're going to be on the podcast tomorrow night at 8. We're going to talk about Cream of the Crop, which is coming out this Saturday here in New York, Long Island, New York, in Selden. And, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. All right. So without further ado, let me bring on my very, very, very special guest, the one, the only Mother Endless. Good evening, Mother Endless. How are you tonight?
Greetings. I am quite lovely. And how does this evening find yourself?
So far, so good. So far, so good. All right. You haven't been taking any souls tonight, have you?
Oh, no, not quite yet. It's only just getting dark now. I typically wait until the midnight hours to do such work.
Gotcha. All right. So let's start off with what got you. How did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
In a sense, I have always existed in professional wrestling. It may not be in the form that you see before you now, but I'm the coalescence of all that is dark, all that is evil, and all that makes individuals doubt themselves. So you see, I have always been and always will be inseparable from the realm of professional wrestling.
Okay. Did you have any favorite wrestlers that you
Hmm.
admired in the past?
I have many favorite wrestlers that I admire. Adrian Street. A man who understood how to control the psyche of his opponent with his appearance and then the brutality that he brought to them inside the ring. Oh, delicious. And of course, Sherry, what would professional wrestling be without sensational, scary Sherry?
Okay. All right. I was a fan of Sherry too. All right. What about the Undertaker?
Oh, The
Fan of the
Undertaker.
Undertaker?
Course, lovely. If you're looking for some more modern inspirations, I would have to reference Pentagon Jr.
Okay.
Oh, goodness, yes, that is a man that knows how to bring brutality to the ring and fear
That's true.
into the hearts of his opponents.
Very true. Very true. All right. Let's jump out of inspirations for a moment. Let's talk about where you went to train to be a professional wrestler.
I trained in many other disciplines before I came to train in the realm of pro wrestling.
Okay.
And when I
Awesome.
trained, I did so quietly in the dojo of CZW. I wanted to pick a place in which the hate and darkness could grow inside my own heart. So I felt it was a place that was ripe with such violence, blood, hate, and destruction. And it was there that I sweat, and there that I bled, and there that I learned to master my craft.
It's a very, very passionate speech you just gave. Okay, all right. Now we're getting somewhere.
About everything that I do.
That's
Why
as you
bother
should.
doing it at all if you're not going to be passionate about it?
I, I agree. Not everybody is passionate as you, though. But okay, all right. We'll start with your favorite, your favorite opponent so far. that you've wrestled?
My favorite opponent so far that I have wrestled. There's so many matches that I have
So many.
enjoyed, though I would have to say I most enjoyed my match with Willow Nightingale.
Oh, okay.
She was an incredible opponent, and I found the light and the energy that she brought to the ring to be such a dichotomy to my own darkness that it flowed almost just like fire between us. Ah, yes, it was delightful. And I had to take the win, and I had to defend the two belts no matter what the cost. So, yes, of course, I took the win and I took the belts.
All right, all right. Willow's from out here in Long Island, so kudos to her for facing an opponent such as your caliber. I couldn't do it. I'd be terrified. I'm just a
as
big chicken. I'm a big chicken. Yeah, yeah. I can't even climb up a tall ladder because I get scared. But anyway, let's go into your favorite. Since you said favorite opponent, your favorite brutal match you've been involved with, and who was that opponent?
Well, when it comes to brutality, there might be a tie. Although I did very much enjoy my death match with DJ Hyde, I would have say it was the time when Raven Havoc stuck me through with needles that I truly felt that I could enjoy the brutality. And it was later in that match when I wiped his blood upon the championship belt that I held that it was I that understood that brutality. There is nothing like a bit of blood on gold.
Did you say needles?
I did say needles. I am part
All
of the
right.
death. And when you are fighting in a ring at Bloodstorm Pro, you must be prepared for anything that might happen.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's talk about. We're gonna keep it real simple tonight. Who would be an opponent you would want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled so far?
Oh, there are so many opponents that I
So
would
many.
love to. Ludark, Sage Sin, Jimmy Jacobs, the zombie princess. What delightful gore we could provide to the audience. A celebration of blood.
Oh boy. Yikes. I got a name for you. I don't know if you know her, but Anastasia Morningstar.
Anastasia Morningstar and I have faced one another in
Oh,
the
you
ring.
have.
Tremendous respect I have for Anastasia Morningstar. She brings the darkness like her name,
She
Morningstar.
does. She does.
Lucifer. She has power, unlike that many have ever seen. And when I stepped into the ring with her and looked into her eyes, I felt that power coursing through her veins. I hope one day she and I would look eye to eye once more. And I have a feeling that within the next year, if the stars align, she may make an appearance at Bloodstorm Pro.
Okay, all right, all right. Anastasia's a pal of mine. I might have to let her know that you're looking for her. I'll let her know. I'll let her know. We got a question for you. Can you tell us about Nemesis, the tag team you have with Lindsay Snow?
Indeed, you cannot speak about brutality if you do not speak about Mother Endless, Pro Wrestling's darkest hour, and the American kaiju, Lindsay Snow. She and I have a connection forged in battle, unlike anything on the independent scene as seen today, and maybe in pro wrestling ever. It is as if when we stand in the ring, we are of one body, of one mind, and it is with that one body and that one mind that she and I will contest for the inaugural coast-to-coast tag team tournament belts. That's right. The finals of this are against the tag team The Rep, and it's going to go down this May 21st at Bloodstorm Pro. If you want to see brutality, if you want to understand what fighting is truly about, what passion is truly about, then you will watch Lindsay and I destroy the Rep.
Now, the Rep's a tough group. I've seen them in action. They're tough. So good luck to you guys on that one. So I'm pretty sure you guys will be victorious. Sarita says maybe Victory Pro Wrestling could bring Mother Endless to Long Island to face Anastasia Morningstar. Anything's possible, Serena. Anything's possible.
Anything indeed is possible, especially when you put the energy out into the universe. So let us all put that energy out into the universe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Has Mother Endless been or has any desire to be overseas? Maybe United Kingdom, Japan, maybe even down in Mexico.
Indeed, anywhere that Mother Endless is summoned, Mother Endless would be happy to conquer. All you need to do is ask. There are so many promotions that I would love to see in Japan, in Mexico, the UK, even down under in Australia and New Zealand. There are many, many places that I would love to go on this great globe, and experiences I would love to have. Any place that will have me, that is.
True. Well, Mike agrees with Serena. He wants to see you at Victory Pro Wrestling over here in Long Island.
Indeed. Well,
he's shouting out the owner. I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, if I shall be summoned, then I will indeed appear.
All right. He's saying, are you listening to the owner, John Radio? I don't know. Maybe he'll make it happen, and we'll have that match, Anastasia versus Mother Endless. Hopefully. What kind of goals have you set yourself for the rest of the year in 2023, Mother Endless?
As a being who is endless, my goals do not follow a traditional 5-year plan. I do not see myself somewhere in a matter of time. Rather, the path that I follow and the way that I walk is the way of the warrior. And what that is about is experience. It is about the feeling. It is about the smack of your flesh and your bones rattling when they hit the mat. It's about the smell of the sweat and the red of the blood. So if you want to know what my plans are for the rest of the year, my plans are to experience as much battle as this corporeal form can handle. I want to know what it feels like to battle as many different opponents as I can possibly handle. So you will see Mother Endless as frequently as I am able, as frequently as I am summoned, and I hope to battle some opponents who challenge not only my body, but also my mind.
All right, that's a good answer. Maybe GCW. I mean, they're kind of violent over there.
They do have some violence, although less violence these days than they used to. However, I would
that is true.
I would not be opposed to battling anyone on their roster. They have very impressive for their hardcore and non-hardcore or deathmatch and non-deathmatch opponents. Everyone there is well fortified in battle, and I should be honored to step within such a ring.
What about the deathmatch king himself, Matt Cardona?
Oh, I'd be happy to crush his little spirit.
I like to see you crush his spirit. All right. I'm just throwing it out there. So you don't make a lot of plans in the future. Any short-term plans or any possibility that we'll see Mother Endless in Long Island in the near future?
There is a vague possibility, as I said. We have spoken it into the universe. We have put the energy out. And there just may be. Obviously, there is victory in my future. There is always victory in the future of Mother Endless. Hopefully, there will also be Victory Pro Wrestling in the future of Mother Endless.
The owner might be watching. I don't know. He's a busy guy, so he might be watching. But we'll pass the message along. So, is there any thoughts on any type of match that you haven't been in that you would like to be in the future?
You know, it is strange. In my experience, it seems that individuals as promoters feel the need to put me into all kinds of incredible circumstances. Well, there is a cage match battle royal that is coming up shortly at Assault Wrestling Alliance in Maryland, and that will be a new experience for me that I am very much looking forward to. I carry the title belt there, and I do not plan on relinquishing it anytime soon. So the ladies stepping in the cage with me, they best be prepared for a unique experience.
Wow.
But I've seen matches, I have seen coffin matches, I have seen all kinds of different stipulations. Perhaps a chain or a strap match. That's kind of bondage is something I haven't yet experienced in the ring, and most certainly would be interesting.
Okay. Who's gonna be in that match you were just talking about in the cage?
In the cage, my opponents, I understand that Cosmic will be in that match, and along with two other opponents whom I am not yet aware of. But I shall announce it on my social media and share it so that all may come to view in the area. And if not, you can look for it on Assault Wrestling Alliance's YouTube channel shortly thereafter.
Definitely share that info to our listeners, because I am interested in watching that match myself. As time permits, of course. There's a lot of stuff going on in Long Island recently.
Always. There's a lot of pro wrestling is a world just bubbling with mysteries. You never know what's going to happen or who is going to show up.
You never know what's going to happen. Absolutely. Any thoughts about maybe taking your style to like a AEW or a WWE and seeing how that plays out for you?
I don't have quite a feeling one way or another. Should the opportunity presents itself, I would never turn down a battle. However, the opportunity has yet to present itself, so we shall have to see what the future holds.
Gotcha. Is there any inspiration you drive for your matches to get you ready for your opponents?
Yes. I find that listening to certain music, of course, Danzig is a huge inspiration, and hearing that music before my entrance to come out inspires my brutality each and every time. But I do also love a pre-match ritual of reading a little philosophy.
Okay.
Generally, Stoic philosophy or Buddhist tantric philosophy, I find that these writings calm and center me. They take the noise out of my mind and focus me purely on the battle that is ahead.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's definitely unique. I've never heard any wrestler mention that they'll read poetry before their match. So that's very inspiring. Very inspiring.
And if you'd
Thank
like,
you.
I'm a great fan of poetry, literature, and philosophy. And if you'd like to hear more of it, you can sign up for Story Time with Mother on my Patreon channel, where
Oh,
once a
okay.
month I read to my listeners.
Oh, see, I didn't know you had a Patreon channel. That's good. That's good. All right. Let's plug away all your upcoming appearances and socials that you have.
I list all of my upcoming appearances upon my socials as I do not have space in my brain to list every number and date. However,
Gotcha.
you can find all of them on all
You're
of my
busy.
social media channels. That's mother.endless on Instagram, which you will find me most active. Mother Endless also appears on YouTube. Mother Endless appears on Twitter, and Mother Endless, I have an endless amounts of places in which I
I
appear.
see.
Google the name Mother Endless. Each of my socials will pop up. And if you reach out to me, I may very well reach back.
All right. All right. Now let's plug away. That you didn't really mention it. Where can we get some Mother Endless merchandise?
You can get Mother Endless merchandise either directly from myself, should you like things to be signed. I
Okay.
offer prints and I offer t-shirts through my Instagram. And in that case, I can sign them and send them directly from my gloved hand into your mailbox. Otherwise, you can find other less exclusive t-shirts designs on Pro Wrestling Tees. That is where you can find my merchandise. I also offer exclusive merchandise on my Patreon channel and
Oh,
in
okay.
appearances. There you can purchase prints and other items that won't be available for sale anywhere else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I That's good that you offer exclusivity items to certain fans. That's great. Do you have any advice for me, Mother Endless, of what I should do as far as merchandising goes?
I do not have a degree in marketing, so I most
Okay.
certainly cannot tell you the best way, or I myself would be already drowning in riches. However, I can tell you that anyone who is a fan of yours, they generally like something a little bit personal.
There's not many
I'm
people buying anything, so don't
not,
don't don't worry about it. Nobody's buying nothing from me. Don't worry.
listen, my fans enjoy when I spit on their merchandise. I don't know if you enjoy the same thing,
No,
but
no,
you may say,
no. If I spit on anything, they'll run away from me. They might buy from you, but they'll definitely run away from me.
It is a little different for each person. What
It's a little different, a little bit. That's right. What is this nonsense? Carlos Mercado says you still haven't showered, and he says Mother Endless isn't a true god. What are you talking about, Carlos? That's right. Excuse me, Carlos. Excuse me.
Oh, Carlos. Carlos is, well, we should say he's a small god or a developing god. You don't necessarily come into this existence fully formed as a god being or an
Uh,
exalted being. I am too stoic to consider myself a god despite my godlike appearance and my godlike abilities. So
gotcha.
Carlos is developing. We must give him the breath. There are things that children go through, such as the terrible twos, where they have
Right.
tantrums and just must let them scream it out or shout it out and let them stomp around until they figure themselves out. And so I would recommend the same to him.
So I assume you know Carlos in some form of way.
In some form, indeed.
Okay. Carlos, you heard it. You're still in training. Shut your mouth and know your role over there. Any chance you will see Carlos in a match with you one day?
There is a chance that that may happen, be it at Bloodstorm Pro or be it time where I may come down and join my tag partner, the American Kaiju, and come to his hometown in Florida if they haven't all, unfortunately, taken on too much water. If they still exist, perhaps there will be a time where we will meet face to face.
All right, Carlos, if I was you, I'd be scared, buddy. I'd be scared if I was you. You gotta keep your comments to yourself, bud. Mother Endless, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I know your time is precious. Thank you very much for coming on. I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not pretty sure.
Should you find it, I hope that I inspire the most terrible nightmares for you.
You definitely will. Definitely will. For me, for me, myself, tomorrow night, I'll be back at 8 o'clock with Gabriel Sky, Kano Capuccio. Oh, man, I can't even talk. Look at that. Mother Endless, thank you for coming on. Coming on in June, the one and only Billy Starks. Hopefully, she will be able to come on in June. I have CJ Bambino this Saturday. Make sure you stay tuned for that interview. My home promotion, May 6th. Get your tickets, victoryprowrestling.com. Higher limits. We're going to have Brittany Brooks' debut from Australia, the King of Sass, Jordy Sparks, the Vester, Jack Tomlinson, who's changed his attitude recently, so we'll see where that goes. VPW champ Eric James, VPW women's champ Valentina Vasquez, Evil Kip is going to be there. Make sure you go to Victory Pro Wrestling. Get your tickets as early as can. They've already announced the main event. Eric James versus Bryce Donovan. They're fighting for that championship. Jack is going to tell his shadow banning story again on his socials. Make sure you check out Jack Tomlinson's socials. I will also be at Thursday, May 18th at Wrestling Is Now. Make sure you go to Wrestling Is Now to get your tickets at 7 p.m. in Stereo Garden in Patchogue. I am part of their media scrum and also part of the social media tour that they are, promoting. And as part of that tour, I have some Wrestling Is Now guests coming. Obviously, some dates we're trying to finalize. But Chris Cage is coming on next Friday at 6:30. Chris Cage from Wrestling Is Now. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Serena says, thank you for coming on, Mother Endless.
Gratitudes for having my presence.
And thank you for scaring the poop out of Papa Dank. Listen, I'm not sleeping tonight. It's a wrap. All right, Mother Endless, thank you for coming on. Stick around for a moment after the show. Everybody else, have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow with Gabe Sky and Kano. We're going to be talking about Remarkable Wrestling's Cream of the Crop this Saturday night. Make sure you go to Remarkable Wrestling, get your tickets for that event. That's going to be a big event. A lot of talent on that. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Everybody else, have a good night, and don't sleep tonight.